Okay. Hey guys, my name is Srdjan, and today I'm going to be talking about UX. Uh, the title of my presentation is Onboarding Noobs to Web3 Games, but the organizers of the conference actually wanted me to speak more on, well, uh, general onboarding of users into Web3. But actually I refuse to do that. I will still keep my initial presentations, which is onboarding into games, because I like games myself, and I actually think games are a real good utility of crypto, and probably a really good bet on onboarding the next, 100 million users into the ecosystem. More so than just DeFi, for example. I'll actually talk today a little bit about examples on how we can onboard players into games, and I've been why do I feel so strongly about UX? Because actually I built my business around the shitty UX of crypto, and 2017 I was playing with crypto myself. Like anyone else who's gone down the rabbit hole, purchased my first Bitcoin, started trading and wanted to buy some alts. Of course, got wrecked and all that standard situations. But at the time, it was really difficult to buy crypto, right? You had to call people, you had to ask them how to do that, and it was generally really complex. So I was like, whoa, this is a great opportunity for me to build a product that's going to enable people to easily purchase crypto and hold crypto. So Kriptomat till today has actually served close to 500,000 users across Europe now, because the UX of crypto is, in my view, essentially still broken. So what Kriptomat is today, it's actually becoming an investment platform where you can not just trade, but you can easily stake, access DeFi. You can create savings accounts for your kids or for your pension. You can create portfolios that automatically rebalance. And end of the day, I'm building, and we as a team, we're building Kriptomat to be this super easy to use investment platform where you can invest in financial products related to crypto. All right, so of course there's that's the business side, but the passion side is the game side. So solutions, right? In crypto, when you're in crypto for a bit of time, the crypto natives are gonna say, look, this is a solution. Every blockchain, we see quite a couple of solutions here at this conference as well. They're all coming up with different solutions, and they all say that this is the solution or that is the solution. And how I see it like this. This is what these solutions look like to me, and I'm not okay. Of course, I'm exaggerating a little bit and not trying to insult any devs, right? But the thing is that this is how the end user is probably perceiving all these solutions. Yeah. And I see a really good analogy that we can take from gaming, and because. Okay, I don't know how old you guys were, but I'm going to touch on some of the games that you might also recognize from your childhood. But look, what's a good solution, right? So a good solution in gaming today is, for example, do any of you guys play games? Can you raise your hand if you've played the game either on mobile or on a desktop? So, okay, quite a few, I suppose. Have any of you played the VR game? All right, so I've done all three, but that's because I have kids as well. So, they just, love playing games, and how it goes. You have to get that VR and whatnot. You have to buy that asset in a mobile game and subscription and so on. All right, so great solutions in gaming look like this. You open Steam, you find the game, you press install, the thing, installs, you start playing, right? The same goes with mobile. You go to the App Store, you go to the Google Play Store, pop, the game loads and you start playing the game. The same thing is now with VR. It actually used to be a bit more complicated with the PlayStation VR, but now with the Quest, it's much simpler. You just put it on, you're flying a parachute, or I don't know if you fly a parachute, but yeah. So, but where did gaming begin actually, right? So, does anyone recognize the game on the left? What game is that? Well, not you. the pretty lady on the right hand side. No, does anyone know it? Yeah, boy. That's right. So, Wolfenstein 3D, guys, you remember that one, the classic, or Duke Nukem and stuff like that. So those were the good old days, right? Playing them games. But there weren't many of us that actually did that because, you know, it was a bit of a hassle. Does anyone not know what this is? Raise your hand. So we used to have these things, you know, called floppy disks as a medium to store data that we actually used to install games. And it was a bit of a bitch to install it anyways, you know, because you had to go into terminal, you had to, you know, run some commands, you had to open up the disk, and then you started the installation of the game, right? And some of these games, you know, they were up to 50 floppy disks, you know. So this kind of reminds me of the, you know, like setting up the wallets today, you know, and having to do multiple steps, blah, 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 right? So, all right, so I'm setting it up, and then I get a, you know, a CRC error. So, okay, for those of you who don't know what this is, it means, you know, you're screwed. Means probably you're at floppy disk 45 out of 46, and the 45th disk was corrupt. So, you know, no gameplay for you. So you're not getting that token. It's not gonna work, right? Yeah. So what I'm, you know, spending a lot of my time is how do I get from, you know, this situation that we actually used to have, and which I feel is kind of the space that we are in when it comes to blockchain, into the virtual reality of things, right? So, yeah, that's what I want to explore today with you guys, and hopefully get some of you to disagree completely so we can, you know, build something. So, all right. There's no presentation mode, so I don't know what the next slide is, and so what can you do, right? I'm going to skip how crypto got into gaming because I don't have enough time to explain that and how the whole NFT gaming narrative emerged. But the thing is, we didn't call NFTs NFTs, and they were ERC 1155s or ERC 721s. Essentially, games figured out they could sell their game before actually having a game. And most game developers are such as, let's say, development studios, are 1- or 2-man bands developing a super cool product, they believe. And the way to raise money was through tokens. So they could actually give these tokens as a utility to their community. Anyways, the point that I actually want to talk about now a little bit is it's already difficult to be a game developer, but it's an absolute nightmare having to develop Web3, being a Web3 game developer. And I've seen the presentation today from Polkadot, so what you guys are creating is amazing, and a lot of other people like Nir and so on are creating these tools. And actually, you know, as a game dev, or, you know, guys, actually this applies to dApps as well, to regular applications as well. What do you need to do first, right? You're like, all right, so let's get from Web3, from Web 2 into Web 3, right? So you're like, all right, so cool. Let me choose a blockchain I'm going to use. So you go to BlockSplit, and there's one chain, there's the other chain, there's the third chain. You know, they're all like, you know, we have this, we have that, we have this. Everyone has everything. So like, okay, all right, cool. So we finally, you know, go out to a side event. We get drunk, we meet someone, we get in a good relationship, and we choose them, right? I guess a lot of time it's like that, right? But anyways, so you must look at the community size, because their community size might help you, you know, promote your own project. Gas fees, you might be thinking, yeah, you know, I don't want my users paying too much. Then you're thinking like, what features they have? Okay, the guy from BizDev told me that's covered, right? The next thing you need to do, you need to choose some infrastructure and development tools, which sometimes the blockchains themselves would, you know, feature, but many times you actually have to find an API, for example, such as Tenderly that we have here at the conference. You know, maybe their APIs, perhaps to build the UIs inside of your game, to display NFTs, to get events coming into your app when you receive crypto and whatnot. And most games would nowadays actually launch their own token, which they would deploy as a smart contract on a DEX, right? So of course, you know, some of the guys will tell me there's a very simple way to do that. But if you've never encountered that, it's like a real pain in the ass. So, all right, so let's figure out the blockchain development. Step number 1, check. All right, so next thing, since we decided to issue a token and we have this cool game, all right, so we've raised this money, and now what we're gonna do is actually we're gonna incentivize our players. You know why? So to promote the game, and basically that's the economy of the game. Most of the time, that was the case at least in 2022, and the goal of each of these players was essentially to suck out the money out of the game, more or less. So you would have this nice loop. The game gives an incentive. The player, of course, happy. You can see the smile is on the presentation, right? And he's getting the token. And somehow these players who were doing this actually always found a way to cash out the token, right? So that was the thing, right? So what this produces undesired outcomes where you have low liquidity, the token is worth jack shit, no one wants to play the game anymore, it's not interesting, no one is incentivized to play the game anymore. So where am I getting to with this one, right? Although we could all, you know, use a pool today with all the heat outside, I think, yeah. The sea is a little bit too cold. So what I believe should be kind of a more, well, a perfect, the best thing for you as a game would be that you actually have balanced incentives versus the expenses in the game, right? So you actually want players on one hand to be incentivized, but actually you also want them to play. To pay for stuff in the game, right? So why do you want to do that? Because you want them to, you want to create a demand for the token or for NFTs or whatever you have. So what you get here is like, you incentivize the dude is happy, he maybe cashes out some, but then he wants to play the game a bit more. He's like, shit, I have to pay for this. Oh shit, I need to get some token. So he spends the token, gets the token, spends the token. So it's a bit of a, you know, you get the picture, right? It's a bit of an infinite loop. There is no Illuminati secret meaning here. It's just an infinite loop. All right. And so, cool. So as a game dev, you all remember we actually started this story because it's kind of difficult to become a game developer or Web3 developer. So these guys actually have to figure all these things out, right? Whoo! Figured it out. Now, let's focus on the gameplay, right? So we've spent all this time focusing on the technology, which I hope you guys are going to solve from Polkadot, from Tenderly, from Near, and so on. So the Web3 devs won't have any issues anymore. And but this is usually the state of gameplay in Web3. How many of you guys know a good Web3 game? Can you raise your hand? Which one? Very good, I want to talk to you. So personally, I play Sunflower Land. It's a bit of a variation of Farmville, where you plant some vegetables, you collect those vegetables, you sell the vegetables, then you get some chickens, you raise some chickens, you get some eggs, then you use the eggs, you do some cakes, you sell the cakes, and then the goblins come, they destroy your village, you have to do it again, and stuff like that. But that game is really nicely balanced because you seem to, want to spend the monies. So there is a huge demand for their token, and this results in 1 million transactions a month. Whoa. All right, so cool. We're gonna fix the gameplay, right? So we're game developers after all. We're fixing the gameplay, no worries. And now we're done. Check, gameplay done. Let's go. Now we can welcome the players, and this is of course what I'm getting, This is, what I'm kind of trying to solve. The players are now, ready to onboard to the game. We figured out the tokenomics, the technology, all these things are done. So now let's go, guys. Please welcome. Well, welcome, my friend. Let's go. Yeah. But they encounter this maze, right? And many times I actually see this. It's really difficult. I want to play a game, and it's a huge hassle. It's a huge pain in the ass. You know, I need to spend hours. It reminds me of those floppy disks, and in many times it doesn't work, and so on. There's all these problems associated with that. All right, I'll bother you for another 5 more minutes. I promise, not more. So, but as a player, what do I actually need as a player in Web3? I need the ability to connect to the game. Most of the time, I will need a game native token to play the game, right? But many times I will need an NFT as a requirement, or I will need a place to store that NFT. And of course, if I want to kind of take advantage of the game, or of the, let's say, play to earn, or of the game's economy, if I'm good at the game and so on, I want to have the ability to sell that token, sell an NFT. It's quite popular to say rent an NFT nowadays as well. So, yeah. And so the player doesn't need much, right? But the current solutions are a little bit like this. Look at the unhappy Wojak here, This is the Wojak. He's crying. So, you need to download MetaMask, for example, I would say, right? Then you need to top up that MetaMask via a third-party provider such as Transact, MoonPay, and whatnot. You need to add the native game token. You need to do all these things, and usually that's kind of packaged in a YouTube video on the game's wiki or on the app's wiki, where they explain this whole situation. So what I propose is a bit of a different situation, something like this, let's say, right? So this is a bit of a wallet that, we kind of developed as a bit of a side project when exploring the GameFi. So I call this the Kriptomat GameFi. GameFi. And what the player can do here, 2 buttons. Connect and play, top up. Connect and play, top up. So when you press top up, magic occurs. We buy the protocol token, for example, Matic, swap Matic into the game native token. The token lands into in the user's wallet. Bam. So the process, you can see the Wojak here, is kind of maybe not really super satisfied, but he's like, all right. It's basically to download the wallet and press, top up the native game token and then link to the game. The linking, though, in this case, not perfect, but the linking is done through Wallet Connect. So the wallet we are building is actually, if you guys support Wallet Connect in your apps, we can easily help the user get your native token so you can onboard the user, right? And I will tell you, we probably have the best on-ramp, the best rails in Europe. So fiat rails to on-ramp via credit cards, Google Plays, Google Pay, banking. But then we also have the ability to off-ramp a user to their Visa card. So that was the other button that we had, sell token, and basically the money just lands into the user's Visa card if they want to do so. So connecting actually works via Wallet Connect by scanning a QR code. And on the mobile, it works again in this similar way via Wallet Connect. Not perfect, but functions that way. So the other the cash out journey that I explained here is if you want to cash out money from a game, usually you would have to take the game token, put it on your MetaMask. Then from MetaMask, you would actually have to send it to a CEX, where you would actually have to already open an account and do a trade where you trade that token. You need to swap the token first to Matic, and then you send that Matic to a CEX, where you would actually sell that token to for euro. So the solution that I have in mind works like this. You press sell, you get the confirmation screen, bam, the money lands to your Visa card, basically. I mean, if it's simple, it's simple. What can I tell you? There's nothing more to explain, right? So from the dApp's perspective, it's like this. You guys still need some sort of infrastructure, and there's plenty of, companies here that provide that much better, and we actually don't. So I'm kind of looking to partner up with the infrastructure providers and also the dApps or games, hopefully, because I would love to play some. Together with our technology to create seamless user journeys. So please get in touch with me, and my people will get back to your people. That's it for me today. Thank you very much. 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. So any questions? Because, you know, he told me I could be like 5 minutes longer, or not? Oh my God, so many questions. Do you have a mic? I mean, if you don't have questions, I also have some, maybe some ideas here. Because people usually don't have no questions, right? So you have to think of some in advance. Yes, sir.
You had a slide about players' perspective and what do they need, connect to a game token, NFTs, and sell trade. Does the player really need that?
Please repeat the question.
So you said that from player's perspective, player needs to connect, he needs a game token, he needs NFTs and sell or trade their tokens.
Yeah.
But does he really have to do that to play a game? Not in Web3 perspective, but in gaming, like normal gaming.
No, you should just start playing a game. This is the Web3 scenario. So in a Web3 scenario, you would usually need an NFT or a token to play the game. And how I want to make it so that you don't actually have to buy that token to start playing. So in collabs that I actually offer, I say to the partners like this, guys, let's do so. Send the user my way. I'm gonna fund the user's wallet with some funds so that they can actually start playing the game without having to purchase anything.
But what do you see is like a key benefit for Web3 gaming, for blockchain gaming compared to Web2 gaming? Why would a gamer, not a game dev or a game studio, but why would a gamer want to play a Web3 game? And well, if the answer is to make money, then...
Well, it's about asset ownership, interoperability, and play to earn, end of the day. So the first point, this slide, which I kind of skipped. So, but there's advantages where games can connect. So we can actually, it's like this. I don't know the answer to this one. But with crypto, you can connect different games in different ways that none of us maybe comprehended this time. So that's my answer.
Thank you.
Hi.
Good question, by the way. Thank you.
Hi. Would we be able to utilize your...
Just a second. To that question. A lot of time I'm like, is this some sort of freaking scam, or just give me something, give me utility? So I'm actually seeking the holy grail. I'm trying to find something useful. What you just said. So it's half-half. Maybe it's complete crap, but maybe there's something genius here. I don't know yet. Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Hi. So we're building a small gaming development platform at the moment, and we are nearly completed. Now we are approaching play to earn aspect in a different manner, and we are looking to get the integration onto the platform itself through a third-party wallet, because we are not focusing on the development of that. We are focusing on the games. Now, are you guys do you partner up with the platforms, or you are looking to just connect yourself with game developers who are building games?
No, it's better to do that with the platform, obviously, because we get more reach.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Okay, sir, you had a question over there? No more questions. You want to ask what the time was, or when the next presentation is? Yeah, it's right now. No, I'm kidding. There was no question there, I think. That's that. No. Oh, there's a question. Oh, no, the other guy. I'm sorry.
No, I didn't need a microphone, but okay.
You both have beards. I'm sorry, I didn't,
No, my question was in regards to, like, definitely I think we all agree that the better onboarding for these types of things is absolutely important. But in regards to, let's say, solutions that are appearing on account abstraction space and, let's say, these types of ideas where Are you targeting those solutions also, or just this fully compatible solution that doesn't require account abstraction?
I'm actually going to go see a presentation from Ivo, from Embarrass Wallet today on account abstraction to see if I can learn more on that. But I'm kind of still waiting for the hype to actually build up a little more on account abstraction. So I'm kind of following the topic, but my ideal scenario is to build technology that doesn't feel like technology at all. That's what I would like to do. So instead of those floppy disks, I would like the data to go basically, you know,
so
through the air.
basically, the answer is you got account abstraction on your mind down the line.
Yes.
Yeah, great.
Yes, sir. All right. Thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the conference.